Markets have been hitting consistent highs, but how long can that continue? These are the key headlines you need to be aware of to understand where we're headed. Trump met Xi Jinping this week, and there was a suspension of some export controls on rare earths, and Trump walked back on some of his tariff threats. However, the dominance battle for global trade is continuing, and this is not the end of it for Trump and China. The US Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 0.5% this week, whilst the European Central Bank maintained interest rates where they are. The Fed said don't necessarily expect it to happen again in December. On both of these, it's important to understand higher interest rates means less liquidity, less money in markets to keep equity prices as high as they are. With Nvidia hitting a $5 trillion valuation and questions of stretch valuations, one has to wonder if less liquidity in the market might mean less money pumping prices further higher. The IMF's October report cited that global growth is slowing and expected to slow into next year. That adds another layer of risk here. If growth slows, can these high valuations be maintained? Private credit risks. A few large private lenders have gone under recently, leaving some large banks on the hook for the bill. If that's a wider industry problem, it might lead to banks lending less. Less money being lent means less money in the market to keep valuations high. The US government shutdown is dragging on longer than my girlfriend when she complains. It's leading to two issues here on liquidity and data. Firstly, federal employees and departments aren't being paid, neither are benefits. That leads to less money in the economy, which leads to less money in the market to keep valuations where they're at. Secondly, we have no data on inflation, jobs, or growth, which is affecting market confidence and will also affect the ability for the Fed to decide what interest rate should be in December. Again, that will have a knock-on effect to market prices. We're in the middle of earnings season right now, and for the aforementioned reasons, macro risks are rising. Investors might now start to question whether some companies are valued appropriately according to the heightened risk and whether their earnings measure up. That leads to issues. If confidence falls, the markets will fall too. If you like my content, like, share, follow, comment your thoughts, whatever, and follow me on Substack. My link is in the bio where I break some of this stuff down in greater detail. Catch you in the next one.